What's up, everybody? Welcome to the Level Start Podcast, part of the Play Legit Network, your only source for gaming and real talk. I'm your host, T42. And this month, I've got a special guest with me. It's Jim from SpaceGameJunkie.com. He's one of the other co-hosts over there, along with myself and Brian. We three take on all things space games over there. But this month, he's joining me to talk about the gaming news over here on Level Start. Jim, what's going on?
Yeah, this is a much nicer office.
This is a much nicer office, isn't it? Oh yeah, better space. Really a lot of room for activities. So yeah, there's been a lot of interesting things going on. We'll get to the big one here soon, but let's talk about No Man's Sky real quick. So No Man's Sky is in the pre-order stage of things. It is $59.99. You can pre-order it on Good Old Games or on Steam. And
why would you do that?
Well, why? I mean, with that pre-order comes an exclusive spaceship that you can get if you pre-order. But, you know, in the world of the digital market, what is the real, honest advantages of pre-ordering? Because you don't have to wait in line to get it. And with the internet these days, downloading things is kind of a breeze. So, Jim, what are your thoughts on the pre-orders here?
Well, the pre-orders made sense back in the dark ages of GameSpot because they would only send enough orders. The corporate would base purchases on pre-order numbers, right?
Mm-hmm.
Much like a lot of the games industry now, they do projections for their financials based on pre-orders. So pre-orders are actually an instrument for the boardroom and the stock, right, to project, like, well, we know this level of interest or whatever. Like when Call of Duty Ghosts was coming out, they were like, oh god, we're dead because we only got like so many pre-orders, which is a quarter of how many pre-orders we had on the other one, so we know this product is going to flop. Like months before it ever came out, they were saying that. So, and their stock went weird, and so it's a strange thing, right? But it's also they rely on this conditioned behavior from the gamers, like, dude, it's day one, you can pre-order it today, I'm so excited. It's like it's almost like the hype, like, oh dude, it's out. No, it's just I can pre-order it. It's not even early access. I don't get, like, if I could pre-order it like with Elite, oh well, you know what, I throw you the money and I get access to the beta. I bought into the beta, it's good, right? You don't even get that. So what do I get? Well, I get a trinket that nobody else would get. Okay, so that sucks, because if you remember back when it was Soul Calibur came out on the Xbox, it was like, well, if you pre-order it from Walmart, you get Yoda, and if you pre-order it from GameStop, you get Darth Vader, or if you pre-order it from somewhere else, then you get the kid from the other Star Wars game. So it's just like, really? But I can't have all three. So I have to make a choice about where I'm going to pre-order this thing from. Or if I just wait till it comes out, I'm a have-not, because, well, I bought it, at retail without a pre-order. So, punish me. The whole thing sucks, right? And in the digital age, there's no risk that I'm going to walk in the store and they're going to be like, well, we already filled all the pre-orders and that cleaned us out, man, so you got to wait a week. It ain't going to happen, right? So there's no reason other than the trickery of, hey, you get this thing or you don't.
Yeah.
And look at like Warhammer that's coming out. You don't even get to play the Chaos faction if you don't pre-order it.
Yeah.
Period. You don't play Chaos at all.
Yeah, and that brings us up to, like, DLC and stuff like that. And then you get, months later, maybe a year later, it's available. Everybody can get it for $1. You can get the extra characters for $1, or you can get the extra little thing for $1. The thing that really pisses me off, though, about the pre-order things, especially from a physical copy point of view, is like, oh, well, Walmart only you get like the special thing if you get it at Walmart, or if you order it at GameStop, you get this other special thing that you can't get if you order it at Walmart. Like,
but dude, you get the exclusive digital art book, otherwise known as JPEGs.
Right. Yep. No, exactly. And I mean, pre-ordering is great. Like, if you know without a shadow of a doubt that you're gonna get that game, then you know what? Knock your socks off and pre-order it. I think that's great if that's what you really want to do. But I mean, in reality, in today's day and age, pre-ordering is kind of just like, because early access is different, right? Like you get early access to something, you buy into it before it's actually finished, and you can actually play and be a part of the development process. If you're one of the people that's actually going to not be a douche nozzle, and actually contribute back to the devs, say, look, I think this and this could use some tweaks, or this and this. I mean, if you're just if you just want to get on the early access because you want to play the game now, whatever. But yeah, so
it makes a huge difference. Am I dealing with an indie dev that can actually use my money, or is it going in an EA bank account where it's just going to earn interest and they say thanks? That's a huge difference.
right.
But still, I when I pre-order stuff, it's the night before. It's
Right.
like, oh yeah, this comes out at midnight. Well, I'm going to buy it a couple hours early so I get my trinket, right? But I wait to the last possible moment.
Yeah, I mean, in that way you can let it download and install, especially because a lot of times now they'll let you preload it 2 to 3 days early in advance. That way, when it does launch after you've preloaded it, all you have to do the day of is click play and start playing it. So many people just have to have their ants in their pants about playing it like right away. I have to be the first person to beat the game.
Oh, I got to call off work that day and play it, right? Like, okay.
It's okay.
But the other thing too, and I wonder if this feeds that, is how the review embargo stuff has been going. Because it used to be like the reviewers would get code a month ahead. You'd get a gold master. Like, they sent this off to duplication, man. Here it is, right? Yeah. I get the gold master the same time they do. No more, right? Of course, we don't do that anyway. They don't have to cut a disc. But they don't let the press talk about the game until it's really close to release. Because if the press said like a few days ahead or a week ahead or whatever, they render an opinion on a game, all those people will fold their pre-orders.
Yep.
And I think that pre-orders also is screwing the press around too because of.
Yeah.
But Valve's got their refund system now, so that changes the game.
And that's
pre-order it, get my thing, and if I don't like it, I can kick it back.
And that's something I meant to say in the other version of this podcast that we did before this one. Is that the refund system is in play full swing on both GOG and on Steam, which is really nice. So I mean, you pre-order it, you play it for an hour, you don't like it, get your money back. But it's an interesting market. I don't know. We'll see. But I am excited for No Man's Sky. Some people aren't, but I am. Another game though that I'm actually really excited for is Abduction, I guess, because it's not an A. It's
is it like Alien Abduction?
Well, I mean, kind of, because the way the game is making it to look is you're being teleported to another place, or you've been transported to another place. This game is being made by none other than Cyan Worlds, who are the same people who brought you the Myst games. And if you're one of those people that are into the adventure, puzzle solving, clue finding type games, this is the spiritual successor to Myst. But don't worry,
so beautiful. I get a little misty.
It really is. It's not like stills that you click on and move around. It's a full 3D environment that you can interact with and do things with. And
well, that's the thing I was talking about before, right? Is I cannot stand the hidden pixel games where you have to like scrub the mouse around on the screen. And I thought, as soon as you say, oh, it's a Myst kind of game, I'm like, I'm out. But then whenever I looked at it, it's like, no, this is like a full 3D world you walk around in. It would be wonderful in VR. I wonder if they're going to have VR.
They are.
Sold.
They are.
Well, except I'm not going to have a VR thing. But, whatever. I'll pretend.
They are. As a matter of fact, in one of their development videos on their site, you can actually go and check it out. One of the guys is wearing one of the Samsung VR things that you use with the Note 4, I think, or whatever it is. He was using one. He was talking about how they're developing VR for some of this stuff. So that's a little exciting. But enough about those things. The main thing that we really wanted to talk into while we still have time is Microsoft. So
I love Microsoft.
They
God. Are so they engender such trust. They never come out at E3 and say any kind of raw, stupid, offensive stuff that says that they completely are out of touch with their audience.
What?
They've never done that.
No, not once.
Like, like DRM, always on. You can't loan your games to your friends. There's no resale market, and it's a set top television. It's for consuming television. So it's your DVR,
Television.
and you can play games on it too.
Television.
We heard a few of you like to play video
television.
games. Television. Right. It was so asinine. So they don't have a good history, right? And then they also have a history of locking games down and making them exclusives, right? Which plays directly into this, because look back at Halo. I was in line at E3 '99 playing Halo, right? And on the PC. And then after E3, they announced, "Hey, Xbox, we're making a console." And then Halo disappeared off the PC. That's an exclusive for our console. And it's like, well, okay, you got to have something to drive people over there. And Halo was the hottest game on the show floor that year, so that made sense, right? Like, scoop the developer up, lock it down on your console, whatever. The new thing, though, is that they're saying, hey, you know what, guys, we're going to let you play Xbox games on your PC. We're going to like merge the ecosystem so that, you know, your friends on Xbox are your friends on the PC. We've never done this before. Games for Windows Live. Oh God, a total disaster, right? And now they don't even support Games for Windows Live. So when you buy games on Steam, and then it's like, oh God, it's got Games for Windows Live. Well, how do I have to hack around that? Because the game won't work otherwise, and I can't play multiplayer, and I can't even save the game unless I jump through hoops. And if you got Windows 10, good luck, because it doesn't work.
Games for Windows Live was such a disaster. I can't. I mean, the taste in my mouth of trying to get that game to actually freaking work, especially back before like they actually had it fixed with like something like, I don't know, Grand Theft Auto
Batman.
4. Grand Theft Auto 4
yeah.
was one. I remember with my buddy Echo Bane, we would try to play it, and it was just like, Games for Windows Live just doesn't work anymore. You can't play the GTA 4 until someone fixes it, which they finally did. But it's just
it's like cause for celebration when somebody they announce on Steam, this game, we finally purged out Game for Windows Live, and everybody's like, yay! Right? So now Microsoft's like, hey, we're putting it back. Crickets.
Yeah, it's one of the worst things that they've ever done, in my opinion. And it's just like that mistrust has really just it's really been there for the longest time. And they've been so out of tune with the PC market, and they're trying to be like, well, we're gonna make our PC market strong again. I was like, man, your PC market hasn't been strong since like the original Microsoft Flight Simulator. Like, get out of here. I mean, it's not. I don't know if they were to with the situation that it is, because they're trying to unify their platforms with Xbox and with Windows, right? So it's just like, you can play the Xbox games on the Windows, and you can play the Windows games on the Xbox that we make for Windows and X. It's gonna work together. Everybody's gonna be happy and be able to play the games on both. Whatever.
And hey, if it works like that, if I can play Halo on the Xbox, I bought it one time, I own it on the Xbox, and then I come back in my office and I install that Xbox game, and I play that crap on my PC, or I stick it on my laptop and I take it out on the road with me. Awesome. That's the best. Thanks, Microsoft. Until they say, oh, but you can't have that game. You know, it's like, this is an exclusive. Like, it would be like Nintendo saying, okay, we're gonna let you have Mario on the PC, right? But you can only buy it through the Nintendo store. But if you buy it, then you could play Mario on your PC or on your Wii. We don't care, right? Because you bought the game from us. It's cool.
Right. Well, I mean, what I think would be nice is if what they're trying to do, because for some reason Microsoft just has such the hardest time communicating to their audience. Like, I don't know why it is that they have such a hard time explaining their stuff to people. Or they have to backpedal and like remove features that they say, like the always online kind of crap. But it's just like, if all they're saying is we're making our platform so uniform that we're putting both Microsoft games from the Xbox on the PC, you can play them on both. It's exclusive to Microsoft, not just to the Xbox, but exclusive to Microsoft. then that would be okay, because then I can have, just like with Steam or with Origin or with Uplay or with the Blizzard's BattleNet app. I mean, the only way I can play Blizzard games is through their BattleNet app, and the only way I can play Battlefield 4 is through Origin, or Mass Effect 3 is through Origin. Some games I can play through Steam and only through Steam, or GOG. Like, but it's all on the PC. I don't have to get locked down into that like one niche thing in order to play all my stuff. So if they're actually saying like the Windows Universal thing is just another digital downloader for games exclusive for just what Microsoft, then okay,
Right.
I'll be okay with that. But it gets deeper than that because of this whole, like, they're going to develop a console that can be upgradable, or they're going to come out with new versions of the console. It's going to be the same console but with better hardware in it, which...
Well, but that's okay too, right? Because that would be like, hey, you know what? Xbox 360. Now it's an Xbox One. Well, you can still run all your Xbox 360 games because it still runs Xbox OS.
Well, yeah,
And
yes.
you're good here, right?
Yes.
And it got twice as powerful, and it's great.
Yes and no, but now you've blurred the line because now it's a PC. Like, it
is a PC. Have you seen an Xbox One? It's a PC.
So no, I mean,
PlayStation 4.
Yes, but where's my keyboard and mouse support?
Well, okay. Do we have an hour? I could talk about that.
Well,
no, we don't.
That's the other show. That's the other show.
But yeah, I could light off on that. There's no reason. The reason that they don't give you keyboard and mouse is because they say, well, you're going to play Call of Duty and you're going to be like super accurate with your mouse and your PC Master Race skills, and you're going to clean up all these console peasants and they're going to cry.
Right.
And it's like, well, no. But GTA, when you play GTA Online, if you're playing with the console and you turn on aim assist, it match makes you to other people with aim assist. They don't want to mix mouse and keyboard with gamepad people. And there is a real difference. It's somewhat legit, but whatever, right? But it could support a keyboard and mouse. I should be able to sit out there and surf the web and check my email. And it's Windows 10. I should be able to do Windows 10 things. The beauty of it would be if Microsoft said, hey, you know what? This is just like those Valve Steam PCs. It's a PC. You can load your OS on it. You can run all the OS apps on it. We don't care, right? But it is like Apple, where Apple says, you know what? This is an Apple. We know exactly what hardware's in here. We control it. And then you will have no hardware compatibility problems. And we know precisely what's in here. So when they make the games, they can make the games to this spec and it will work perfectly. So if you want games to work perfectly, get an Xbox. And if you want to risk it, or do your own hardware thing, then, build your own box, get a PC. Run our OS. We don't care what you play it on. We're going to sell you the game. We're going to take our 30% when you buy it, regardless of where you play it.
That's an interesting viewpoint. Well,
yeah. So here's the nightmare scenario. All right. The nightmare is, hey, it's not just Halo, the PC exclusive. It's some other company, right? Like Ubi comes out and says, hey, we're making the new Tomb Raider game or Assassin's Creed. Well, we want to be on the Xbox because we sell a lot of games on the Xbox. Well, Microsoft says, well, if you want to be on the Xbox, that means that you can't distribute your game on PC except through our store. You can't go to Steam. You can't go to Origin. And you can't have your own Ubisoft client either. You have to sell it through our store, and you're locked in. Now, with that store comes restrictions because we're lazy. The Xbox only does 1080p. You don't have support for 720p. You don't have support for 4K. You can't have weird 3440 resolution on your ultra widescreen monitor, and you can't play in a window, right? So your game, if you put it on the Xbox and then on Windows, it's going to run full screen. It's only going to run at 1080p. It's only going to run at 60 frames a second. And right, like
right.
It's all these things. And hell, they might even say, and you don't even get keyboard and mouse support. Like if I want to make it completely scary, right? Like you have to use a gamepad on your PC. Now they've turned your PC into an Xbox instead of the other way around.
Yep.
And that's what people are freaking out about, like Tim Sweeney from Epic. So the first DirectX 12 game came out, like, what, today? Was it? Or this week or whatever?
Earlier this week, yeah.
Yeah, so it's the Gears of War Ultimate Edition, right? And if I'm right, I think it follows this pattern. You can only get it on the Microsoft Store, and that's what triggered this whole announcement this week, right? It was like, yeah, you can only get it on the Microsoft Store through Windows 10, and it runs DirectX 12. And at this point, they have an opportunity to say, if your game is going to use DirectX 12, it has to be sold on the Microsoft Store, period. And then now what? Ooh, now that's a real problem. So Tim Sweeney is freaking out. Well, what's awesome about that, he's the guy that led the charge about we have to stamp Microsoft down. We got to kick them in the balls and tell them we're not going to take this crap. Okay, what's Tim Sweeney's company make? Gears of War. Wow. So that's so meta. It's like coming back and eating its own tail. I love it.
Yeah, it's pretty nuts. It's definitely pretty nuts. I'm looking here. I'm trying to look on Microsoft's website here to see what they have as far as that stuff. But yeah. Anyway, this is a pretty interesting position that we're really kind of in with what Microsoft's trying to do. I mean, like, I get that they want to get closer to their home market again. Like, they really want to kind of get back into the PC market again. I just feel like they're kind of going about it the wrong way, or if anything, they're not communicating properly because they're saying stuff, and then people like are freaking out. They're like, "Well, what does that mean, though?" Like, you know what I'm
Well,
saying?
it's like a repeat of the E3 press conference. Is exactly what we're seeing.
Well, I don't know
We go out there and we're going to say
so.
some dumb shit, let people freak out, and then we're going to take it back.
Well,
and what they don't freak out about, we're going to do.
They said some dumb shit at that E3 thing a couple of years ago, but the thing that was problematic about that E3 thing is not only did they say dumb shit, but then they had to go back and say we're actually not going to do some of that dumb shit. But then they also had to go back and explain some of the dumb shit as like, this is what we really mean when we say this, and then, well, we're actually not going to do the always online thing. Sorry about that. Oh, you actually don't always need to have the Kinect like on and there. Like, you don't actually need that peripheral anymore. And it was just it was a disaster. It really was a disaster.
Yeah, but some of that stuff that they said, oh yeah, we're not going to do that. It's more like we're not going to do that right now. But
right.
We got Windows 10 coming out, and we're just going to we're going to give you Windows 10 for free. It's going to be like a van that says free candy on the side. Come on in, get Windows 10. In fact, if you blink, you're going to just wake up one day and you got Windows 10. Oops.
Yeah.
Just slipped it on your machine. But hey, it's free, right? And what an upgrade, great value. And then the door slams shut, says, "Ha, you're on Windows 10." And the door back is locked. You can't go back.
Oh no!
So welcome to Windows 10, and now we've sealed the door behind you, and you have no choice but to buy shit through our store only.
Yep.
And yeah, so Gabe Newell saw this a year ago, and that's why the whole initiative about SteamOS and the Steam boxes and stuff. And I think the hope is that Microsoft says, no, we're trying to play nice. We're just going to be like Origin, right? It's like you got Valve, you got Origin, you got Uplay, and now you have the Windows 10 store, and it's beautiful, right? But there's so much temptation to do the douche that we don't trust them. And if they have the opportunity to do it, if they don't see that it's going to be negative, it's like, well, hey, we can monopolize the entire market. That's really bad. So my fear is that every game that shows up on an Xbox is going to get ported only to the Windows Store. And that's going to be a problem.
Right. Yeah, I do have a concern about that as well. But I guess the future will tell. We'd really like to see what you guys think about all this down below in the comments. So give us a like, subscribe, follow, do all the things, share with all your friends. But leave us a comment below and tell us what you guys think about this Microsoft stuff. What are your ideas and thoughts behind what you think that they're trying to do? Also, while you're at it, go on over to playlegit.net and check out our website. We got some great things up over there. We have our 8-bit troll, our latest one, Feelin' Froggy, as well as many other fun things, including reviews, skits, and our latest show, Play Legit Talks, the latest one being Grand Theft Auto. So go give that a check. Hey, Jim, I really appreciate you coming on to the show today. this is round number 2. We had to do 2 rounds of this, I guess.
Well, the first one, it was like a little too loose, and we
Yeah,
talked
and
for what, like an hour?
about an hour.
But we covered the same thing in a shorter time. So
we're
respectful of your time as the viewer.
About 20 minutes in. But if you guys want to hear more, about us, you can always check us out on our social media stuff, as well as over at spacegamejunkie.com. We are frequent over there on that show as well. All right, guys. If you like this, like I said, give it a like, comment, subscribe, and until next time, see you guys out on the internet. Peace.